Hey guys, 118 Set Shadow back and in action. I know I've been gone for about 2 weeks. I was actually moving over the past 2 weeks, so still kind of settling in. There's a bunch of boxes to still work through, but almost everything is said and done, so time to get back to market watches. And as I said before, I'm going to try and have some new content as we go. Hopefully some match games as I can get some friends to just hang out with every so often. But for the most part, I'll probably just be talking about some decks and strategies as I go along too. But let's go ahead and get in today's Market Watch. With 2 weeks having been missed, there's going to be a lot to cover, and I know I can't cover it all in one sitting, so we'll see if I can get a few extra videos up over the course of the week. And I'll be working off a new schedule. Normally I did my market watches on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Now I'm going to change that up to be Mondays and Wednesdays, and if I can, Fridays too. So sometimes I might have 3 days worth. Well, let's go ahead and get started with set 10 material, and probably one that I feel like may get overlooked here and there is Blue Deathster Hanada Halfway, who, interestingly enough, has been going up for some time ever since the release. You were able to pick this card up for, wow, it's really far back now. But point being is that I was able to pick some of these up on initial release for less than $1 a piece, hence why the market price was at just close to $1 at one point. But it's practically a really big penny stonk in the case that it's now about $3 to pick up. And so just keep that in mind. This card has gone up since the initial release, though not as much as most other cards. It's just so it kind of gets ignored. To that point, I just wanted to make sure it got brought up. Twin Marvel Dragon is another one that I wanted to cover. This card's not a bad tech support for Dark States in general, as its skill is generic. Normally you would see this with Almagesta, basically Unica or Biko. But you can play this in Drajeweled if you wanted to, because it still meets the condition, as you just need to Soul Blast 3 or more cards for the Vanguard skill. So it has potential to see value as we continue to get other Dark States based Vanguards that can also do Soul Blasting. Definitely one to keep in mind. The rarities right now, we've got the double rare at 90 cents minimum and the FR for 165 minimum. So they're pretty close in value. Ultimately, the FR is probably the better pickup. It just depends on how much quantity there is as well. Dragon Tree Rich Depths Ewele. This one has quite a lot of listings available for the double rare at $3.45 to start off with, and the market price is almost $4. And then you've got 8 listings on the FR for this one. This one basically got bought out to the point of almost $9, with its market price being closer to $6. Just as a reference, this is the Dragon Tree marker generator for Stoichia from set 10, and also fetches you the mask as well. And on the flip side, the other one for Dark States, Skull Chemeda, is in a bit of an odd position where you have near equivalent listings on both the double rare and the FR. Both of them are basically for $3.50 to $4 right now. And interestingly enough, the FR has a lower market price and a lower base price right now. It's been weird to see that. And sometimes you'll see the double rare go down in value just a little bit. It's just odd to see that. For those of you who were looking at my Instagram, you'll know that just the other day when I went to locals, I pulled both of these cards in just one pack. So I got myself the triple rare Drajeweled Mask and the FFR of it as well. And of course, to my dismay, this card ended up dropping quite significantly, but I'm not surprised that it did. Drajeweled Mask is not as popular as one would hope. even though it is a pretty cool looking card, and pulling it like that was just pretty awesome. But the FFR is now selling more around the lines of 35 and still dropping, so almost like how Griffo Gila at this point is in the same boat of its FFR just kind of dropping hard, being the middle child rarity, if you want to call it that. There are listings available for 35 plus, but I can imagine this card will continue to go down, and ooh, I don't know why my computer is doing that. Pink Moth Girl Maple. In particular, I wanted to talk about the grade 1 from Minerva Rising as opposed to the grade 2. The grade 2 is basically never really changed, and we're looking at $20 plus there. The thing I wanted to take a look at was what happened with the FFR, because this has historically been selling $20-ish, and looks like we're starting to move up there with players actually looking at it for close to $30. And now we have a $50 base listing onward, goes as high as $125 when you count shipping. So I would imagine there might be some more listings coming up cheaper, but once we get to set 11 and Tegrea gets her new support, there's a fair chance that this card could see a bit more of a gain too, and stay there. Magic of Alternation Turnar. I know this one went up back when... what was announced? Azel was announced. And the prices are still holding at those points of that announcement, but there is the reprint coming in the Graham Grace deck too, keep that in mind. But ultimately, even with that, it's still a $5 card for the base rarity, and right now if you want the FR, the base listing is $15. Actually, I want to take a look at this one. Yeah, it hasn't even sold since close to the beginning of this month. That was $20. No one's really buying the $15 one at this point. Well, we'll have to see what happens when Azel actually comes out. Minerva, I want to revisit Minerva herself, as there have been some tops recently in team tournaments in Japan seeing more play with Minerva, especially now that they've got their newer promos for set 8's encounters. So Maelstrom, Lukier, and Minerva just got their promos, and Minerva is starting to see more play nowadays. So if we take a look at prices here, they are selling recently, $625, and we're moving on upwards, but we still have a lot of $7 to $8 listings, so there's still some opportunity to pick this up. And there are 38 listings overall, so lots of place to find that. Tempest just never calms down. I've never seen this card go below 40 anymore, and now we are back all the way up to $63 at the base. There are only 5 listings, a fair amount of quantities, but yeah, $60 plus. And with Youthberg getting new support in set 13 having been announced, it's no surprise that this card is just flaring up again. And we'll just have to see what the new support entails. I would assume that Bushiroad's made it quite strong, so we'll have to see what happens there. Then you've got Recurring Magic Larita, which from set 4, it's a Hexorb support card, and Hexorb herself, with Aquamarine suddenly jumping from like $1 to $5 to $8. It's no surprise that cards like Larita have also been seeing some more consistent sells these days. If we take a look, because this card, I know I had some copies up for under $4 a little while ago, and then ended up selling those when I put my store back up after the move, and then noticed that at the time it didn't have that many listings. I have a few more that I'll probably be putting up later anyway, but currently it's a pretty solid $5, $6, and it can sell for a little higher as you go along. Oh, looks like I had another one up of that. Roaming Prison Dragon's another one I want to talk about, as this one also has a bit of a bump in price. The SP has only 5 listings starting at 51, and if we take a look at the triple rares history, let's see, 27, 26, and you've basically got 26 as the baseline for this and a few $30 copies. Zorgamasks is a strong deck and probably the strongest mask deck in the format right now, so I would not put this out. It's a strong card overall. Sealed Blaze Spear Aditya for Basagra. This one, compared to the others, has been seeing more of a downtrend, if anything else. After all, the card itself is... Basagra is not getting that much love these days. And while this card did see a pretty huge spike some time back to get to $15, $20 for a little while, it's just fallen all the way back out. So we'd have to wait until Basagra gets some more confirmed support before we can ever hope for this to even get any more value. And ultimately, I would assume maybe it'll get a reprint before that, but we have been getting a bunch of reprint sets as it is, and so the next wave of them is going to be something we'll have to see as we go. Painkiller Angel, I know, went up with the announcement of Luard coming to Standard, and the SP is the one that really took off here. Curious, let's see here. I want to see where the listings are. So mid-month they were selling 20 and 17. Nobody has actually bought any of these $40 copies yet. So we'll have to see what happens. Ultimately, it's just initial hype for Luard since we don't even know what it does yet. And do keep in mind that the other rarities are $1 now, and the special reprint is a little lower on listings at this point, so pay attention to that, especially if Luard does turn out to be quite good. Virina Arcs is another one that hasn't been doing too hot lately. For crying out loud, the SP is now almost aligned with the base value of the double R, so we look at the SP right now, and there are a number of listings for about $5 and then $7. So it's an easy pickup right now, especially when you consider that set 13 is bringing in more Virina support as well. So still not bad to have a play set of SPs at your disposal, and you do have the reprint coming in Festival Collection, so the double R is probably not a good bet right now. Ariana's SP has taken quite a dip. This is the generic heal trigger for Dark States from Festival Collection 2021. There are copies available for $20 right now, and there are numbers more for $22. This one had been selling as high as $30, $50 for a while, so to see it drop this far is just quite something. On the flip side, one that I haven't really covered before, Knight of Heavenly Hammer Gurgant. This is also the SP variant from the Festival Collection. It's started to sell above $30 here, and there are only 4 listings available, so if you want this, well, I think it's the only SP crit trigger that Cater Sanctuary has right now, which is pretty much what contributes to its price. To wrap up with promos, we've got Fairy of Candor Darian for Granpia support, and I know Granpia got some new announcements for set 12. I'll bet I think I've been hearing more bad news about it. But Darian is now $15 minimum and also has the foil version at about the same price. So might as well just buy the foil version if you're going to be buying it at this point. And to wrap it all up, Canal Eitengarden. Poor Doug has fallen out really, really hard. It's now a $350 card, unless you want the foil, which is based $9. This was the chase card of the promo pack, until Welstra just fell out of favor. But hey, it's a cute card, and ultimately, I think Welstra will be getting more support as we go along, so we'll just have to see what happens. Thank you guys for watching. I will definitely be posting some more stuff as we go through the week. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys later.